Our readings today speak of sheep and shepherds. And some might argue that the earliest that we start learning in this lesson about the Lord being our shepherd is when we're taught the 23rd Psalm. But I would suggest to you that we learned it even earlier. Recite with me if you understand where I'm going with this. Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb. Mary had a little lamb, its fleece was white as snow. And certainly, Mary had a lamb. Jesus, the Lamb of God, he who comes to save us, was her child. But there's even further lessons from our childhood. Remember, "Ba, black sheep, have you any wool? Yes, sir, 3 bags full. 1 for the master, 1 for the dame, 1 for the little boy who lives down the lane. Ba, black sheep, have you any wool? Yes, sir, 3 bags full." Do you know who's speaking in that little poem? Can you imagine Jesus or God the Father saying to us, the black sheep, the ones that have strayed away from the fold, if you will, just like we have black sheep in the family? You know, the Duchess of Cambridge's uncle was the black sheep of the Middleton family. And I'm sure if you look at the royal family in England, they got a few black sheep hanging around there. We've got black sheep in our own family. But in the family of God, aren't we all at some point black sheep that are not quite to the pure wool standard there? And Jesus says to us, do you have any wool? Well, what's wool to a sheep? It's that which it produces for others. So what have you produced for your shepherd? For he who guides you along and calls you to follow? That first bag for the master sort of tells us where our priorities in life are supposed to be. That we're supposed to put God ahead of what we do. That second bag for the dame. In some versions of that poem, the dame is a mistress. Now, we don't like to use the word mistress here in the United States because it has a different connotation. And when you take a look at what it's talking about, we call those people misses today. And what does a missus do? She runs the household. She takes care of the temporal goods of the family. And so after you've produced for the Lord, then you produce for your family. The second part of how we're supposed to live our lives. And then the third part, for the little boy down the lane. So we're supposed to go outside of ourselves, outside of our family, and be concerned with those that are not part of our family, those that live down the lane, those that are out there that perhaps are homeless or orphans, hungry, naked, sick, in jail. If we indeed are the sheep, and I believe we are, and our shepherd, Jesus Christ, calls us to follow him, to live his message in this world, we have to be productive. And the challenge for you and for me today is to answer that question of, have you any wool? What have you done to put God first in your life? What have you done to take care of your families? And what have you done to take care of others? Jesus calls on you today to answer it. I pray that, like in the nursery rhyme, you too may be able to say to Christ, yes, sir, 3 bags full.